100%.
But there are people right now today, while we're shooting this, that are ready to sell their business.
Yep.
No one even thinks about that. Everyone's thinking about starting, but there's a lot of people thinking about exiting. I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby. Everything about you. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, StephenMotivate, back again with another joint session with me, your host, StephenMotivate, along with my co-host, your friend and mine,
Steve James. What's up, y'all? What's up, brother?
What's up, brother?
You all right?
I'm doing all right. It's good to see you again.
Likewise, man.
Let's get right into it. Let's talk about exit strategies today. And because I think a lot of people see business and it's like, what's the point? Why are you doing this? What's the end goal? And a lot of people don't realize that most business people want to exit their businesses.
For sure.
Whether you exit it, by getting acquired, going public, you can, hand it off to, pass it down to a family member or something like that. But hopefully you don't do all this work and, you're never able to truly cash in on the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like we were talking off camera, like you think about the QC label deal. If you're into hip hop, you know that Quality Control Music was a label here in the US. And like last year sometime they were sold and acquired by I think the South Korean. Yeah, Scooter Braun. And he was connected to this South Korean company.
Yep.
That was
Scooter Braun was he's been a lot of people managers, but Justin Bieber, he managed Justin Bieber.
Yeah. So he's known in the entertainment industry.
100%.
But it's really interesting because, okay, you think a guy like that already has all the money in the world, already has all the fame. Why would he want to help get a deal done, which I think was valued at $300 million?
Crazy.
$300 million is what they paid for QC. And so, yeah, big deal, right? $250 million of it, I think, was maybe in cash, and then they were going to issue another $50 million in stock.
Yeah.
And what it really represents is this South Korean company, Hybe, that Scooter is connected to, is essentially wanting to get their footprint into the U.S. in a real way. So if I'm from South Korea, I already got money, and I know that the U.S. is one of the leaders, the taste makers in music. How do I get my foot in there? Well, we're not going to go start from scratch. We're going to go acquire. And, what I think is good for our Wealthy Thoughts listeners to know is like when you're running a business, the goal is to, at some point, get your money out of it. Like with this deal, what's the guy's names? Coach
K.
K and P. These guys, these entrepreneurs, black entrepreneurs, they now can take their money out of it, get their payday, and they still get to run the day-to-day operations of the company.
Yep. Coach K's from Indy, by the way.
For real? I didn't know Coach K was from Indy. That's dope. Super dope. Shout out to Coach K and shout out to Indiana. But yeah, I mean, that sort of thing. And you see other transactions happening in the business space. We was looking at something else with Dropbox, with one of their buildings in 2021 was acquired for like $1.08 billion.
Crazy.
And so I think this is lost on some people, but when you're building these businesses, you're building value. You're building value. You're getting something going.
For sure.
Right?
It's like real estate.
It's like real estate. It's like real estate. That's why I tell people there's only 3 places to put your money. And I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. You got real estate, stocks, or businesses.
Yep.
Because all of these things, and there's a lot of different other ways, but all of these things typically appreciate in value if you're injecting value into them. And so you got, Coach K and P, that put this together, and they over time they injected value into that name. Now Quality Control has a brand name.
Yep.
They've got a roster of artists that they're managing.
Yep.
They're putting out music and getting sales and getting plays and getting streams. And so you're building all this value into this thing. And it's really sometimes difficult to even know, like, how much is my thing really worth?
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's worth what somebody will pay for it.
For sure. And that's how important it is to know your numbers, you know, because
Gotta know your
guaranteed when Scooter and them went to inquire that business, it was, let's see the numbers. And the numbers spoke for themselves, obviously, because they cashed out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the goal of being a business, and I tell my buddies this all the time. I'm like, man, we got to stop, you know, just trying to be in something for the long haul. The whole goal is to add value to it, show the numbers, grow the numbers, and be able to, hey, we're done with this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And let's move on to the next thing. You know, and because that's what it's all about. Jay-Z did it with Tidal, with Ace of Spade. You know what I mean? Like, you build these, let me get into this, let me add as much value to it, ring it out, and then boom, let me sell it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who else?
And people don't even realize that that's the thing you do. That is the goal of the business.
Yeah.
And because people,
that's how you retire.
That's how you retire.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really your big payout. Your big retirement is starting a business and being able to offset it to someone else.
Absolutely, because the business is going to cost money.
Yeah.
I heard one guy talk on a podcast, businesses eat cash.
For sure.
Like gas, like cars eat gas. Like, you need cash to run.
For sure.
You need cash to keep things going. And hopefully you're producing enough cash. But the thing about it is, if you're the business owner, you might be the one to have to fill the business with cash to make it run. Hopefully you get payouts. Hopefully and I think that's where you see different strategies, even with the real estate, from renting to build and sell and all this. Because if you build and sell it, I can sell the thing off and go and do that again. It becomes more of, that's my transaction, versus when you're renting, you might have a renter in there, but it might need a new roof. Right. And it might need new plumbing. Yeah. After year 2 or 3. So that rental property needs cash to keep going. You can't have nobody in no house and their roof is leaking. Yeah. And it's your property. For sure. So these are the things that you got to know when you're getting into business, is that businesses demand cash. And so if there becomes a time, to your point, where you can get out of it, let me add the value, let me know the numbers, grow the numbers, and get it to a point where I can hand it off, even if I'm still in the business in some way. Because a lot of times you'll still get advisement from, you think about the Mark Cuban deal. Mark Cuban just sold the Dallas Mavericks. Why would anybody ever want to sell that? And it's like, because he's added value. He knew the numbers, grew the numbers. The Mavericks was trash when I was coming up. You get on the sticks and, get on the PlayStation, get on the game. You didn't want to pick the Mavericks. Like, they was just a bad team. Trash. I think they had Jason Kidd when he was a rookie. They had one other guy that was like a nice power forward. I forget his name. But other than that, they was trash. Mark Cuban comes in. He adds a lot of value to that organization, and they get a chip. Yep. They get a chip, and then last year they almost got back to a chip, surprisingly. Yep. But now it's like, oh, that franchise is now worth more. The city of Dallas has probably grown since when he bought it. Like, all these things. So who's going to cash him out on that? Well, he's probably had to front the cash. Right. So now he gets to the point where, all right, I fronted cash for a decade more. Yeah. Let me cash out on this, because people thinking, oh, you own the Mavericks, everything is sweet for you. And it is for somebody at his level. But, why would somebody like him ever want to sell? Stay in it, yeah. Yeah, I want to sell because that's the goal of business, to exit. What is your exit strategy? Yep. That's crazy. Yeah, because you wouldn't think he'd ever want to do that. Yeah. He's getting, but that's what the wealthy do. It is.
And it's the blueprint is there. It's, starting the business and building it up and getting out of it.
And he sold it for $3.5 billion. Mark Cuban sold a majority stake of the Mavericks to Miriam Adelson and her family for approximately $3.5 billion, while Cuban retains control over some of the team's basketball operations, according to ChatGPT. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the new owners plan to build a state-of-the-art arena, potentially a hotel and a casino. So I bet Mark Cuban's like, I just put a bunch of money into this over the last 10 years. I don't want to have to put more and build a whole casino or arena. So it's like even the top dogs are trying to exit their businesses.
For sure. 50 Cent did it with vitamin water.
Exactly.
He was a stakeholder in that company, and he sold off his share for like $100 million.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
I'm out.
I'm on to the next thing.
And that is the key, like selling it at the right time too.
Mm-hmm.
Like vitamin water was the thing.
Yep.
And when you know that you've got that thing that's popped and you can get out and like, because if somebody come and want to buy all my Turo cars today, okay.
Here you go.
Here you go. Have them all.
Bet I guarantee you that's how Nas felt when he did that when he did Ring.
That was a big one.
Like, yeah, Ring, and it was what was the other one? They sold, Amazon picked it up. It was Pill Packer or something. It was something about the pills.
Oh wow.
Hold on, I gotta look it up.
I love it because you see our rappers, our moguls, these guys we love that make good music, they also doing good business.
For sure.
So it's like we gotta catch on. Like, hey, it ain't
Pill
about
Pack.
Pill Pack.
Yeah.
And what was that?
It was a sold to Amazon for $1 billion, and Ring sold for $1.2 billion.
Wow.
Which is insane. So Pill Pack is a medication sorter and divider.
Mm.
So it's basically a full service pharmacy designed around your life.
Wow.
So they sort your medicine out by date and time. They deliver them to you every month.
That's dope. That's a value.
Yeah, for sure. And it's something that's needed because people take medicine every day.
Right. So why not? How can we make it better? And that's the thing. The way, and when we say adding value, I hope people get this. Like, you're making it better.
Yeah.
You're making it better. Like with Turo. Turo's a platform we use a lot. We generate revenue from it. And why does Turo work a bit? Because for some people, it makes it better for them to get transportation.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can add value to that process, if I can have the best cars or be the best host or communicate the best, I'm adding value into that process. And then if I process it out, get my standard operating procedures, get my system in place, okay, this is the way we do it. And then I get a team in place. All these things are value.
Yep.
So now I've done all the hard work.
So as soon as I want to sell it to you, here's everything in a rollout.
Buttoned up for you, ready to go.
Ready to go. You just got to come in and, bring that bag.
Bring that bag. Continue to run it and fund it.
Yep.
And I think that's what people, like, this is how the wealthy think. Mm-hmm. They're looking for opportunities to add value. You see a computer company and you're like, okay, they're selling computers. And there's literally one across the street. So this is why this is fresh on my mind. Like, they sell computers, they sell them refurbished. So not everybody can buy a brand new MacBook, right? So if I can go and get MacBooks from them for $300 and sell them for $350, all right, $50. What does that seem like? Well, if I can do 1,000 of those, that's 5,000, or that's 50,000. Actually, 50 off of that, because I'm finding a way to add value. Do enough people know that you don't have to pay the full ticket for the MacBook. Mm-hmm. You don't have to pay $1,000 plus. I get you one for $350 that's just a couple years old, just like used cars.
Yeah.
And so this is how the wealthy think.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people aren't thinking like this.
Yep.
You're wondering like, okay, how do you do business? How do you get into? You add value.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, and then once you set up the system, set up the process, set up the plan, then you can, like you said, hand it off to somebody else. And we got to make this popular, because All the big dogs is doing it. The Nas's, 50, Jay-Z,
Yep.
like
Dr.
Dre with the Beach play. Like, this is the move. Like, if you can't rap, that's fine.
Right.
Find a way to get into business.
It's a business. And there's no, like, there's nothing wrong with, because people may see that as a, like, oh, this business is not working. But the whole point of it is how do I make it work so I can get out of it and do something else? Exactly. You don't have to be stuck in something.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the toughest thing for people to kind of to grasp that concept of it's okay to build something and be done with it.
Right. And pivot. Okay. That is totally okay. Yeah, it is actually the right mindset.
For sure.
Like, you do not have to die on this business.
Yeah.
Build it and be done with it. And that is the nature of being a builder, being a deal maker, being a wealthy thought type person is like, okay, I'm not going to do this for forever. I'm just trying to get this to a point where I've added enough value where I could let it go.
Yep.
Right. And that's what people, and then when you get that big payout, maybe you go do something that's less risky.
Right.
Right. We talked about, last week or a few weeks ago about, having that risk tolerance to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's partly because we still trying to get in the game.
Right.
If we had $350 million to sit on,
it's a whole nother.
Okay, give me something that ain't no risk, and I'll take my, 100,000 every month on this. But because right now I'm in the, because people talk about hustle culture and like, oh, you got to work so hard and da da da. But at these beginning stages, like, I know you don't have to hustle your whole life away, but at these beginning stages, a lot of this you're not going to be able to skip out on the work.
No, you got to do it. You got to be in the field.
You got to be in the field.
Yep.
What you going to do? You got to be the person to create the value.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be the one that connects the deal, talks to the broker, makes the connections, and that is the whole value.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody could just put a deal together, and I really think that's what entrepreneurship is.
For sure.
It's putting deals together.
Putting it together.
Because you kind of wonder, like, when you do so much stuff, when you can get on the phone, make a phone call, when you can write up a document to submit a proposal, when you can do some social media marketing, like, what am I doing? Like, am I too all over the place? That's kind of, you can kind of feel that way. But when you realize it's like, oh, I'm just getting my hands in enough of the business piece of this thing so I can add enough value to it and then pivot to something else.
Yep.
And all those skills you learning are just crucial.
Yep.
And again, like, I hope this is becoming what's popular, right? For the businesses out there, for the young people out there, for the people that want to think these, think how the wealthy think. You got to add value.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just going to be able to just sit and do nothing.
Yeah.
You got to come into a situation. And sometimes putting a deal together is what's adding the value.
For sure.
Finding the land, finding the property, finding the contractor. Connecting those dots could be the thing that allows you to exit that business successfully.
And get you paid.
And then once you're paid, the strategy might change.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, so that's pretty much, that's the goal on that.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know.
This is pretty straightforward. There's nothing wrong with
exiting.
Like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Do something else.
Yeah.
You done with it. Find a buyer. So maybe we talk about this. How do people find that buyer of their thing? I built it up. How do we find that buyer?
Yep. Biz buy sell.
Biz buy sell.
Biz buy sell is a website where you can find businesses to purchase. You can put your businesses up to sale. It's a dope site. It's like a LoopNet, you know what I mean? But it's for businesses.
Yeah, and people don't even know that. There's people that have never heard of that site.
No, 100%.
But and there are people right now today, while we're shooting this, that are ready to sell their business.
Yep.
No one even thinks about that. Everyone's thinking about starting, but there's a lot of people thinking about exiting.
They're trying to retire. Most of when you go on biz buy sell, when you see these businesses, it's like the reasoning behind the exit is retiring. Mm-hmm. I'm done with this. I'm retiring. I've built it up. Here goes the numbers.
Yeah, there comes a time where you may not feel like shooting no more podcasts.
Yeah.
You may not feel like washing no more cars or selling no more clothes. I'm done. I'm retiring.
Yeah.
I'm chilling. I have a stupid bag, and I want to give it. I don't want to see all my work go to nothing.
Right.
And so that's the idea, and maybe people don't understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe they just think that business just lasts forever, and like all these mom and pop shops you've seen, these dry cleaners, these laundromats, these paint shops, these auto shops. There's all types of stuff that's being turned over every day.
Every day.
Somebody is trying to exit their business. And so that's what you always want to think about, that is like you can get out of something, get into something. You can go add to your thing. Mm-hmm. Like I was looking the other day, there's a rental car place up in Pinehurst that's for sale. Mm. And I need to go back.
What's it selling for?
I ain't looked deep enough into it, but it's just like the fact that that's a big golf course, like community, probably 2.5 hours away, kind of eastern North Carolina. But it's like we do cars. So it's like I probably could go buy that and learn from this guy because he's looking to exit.
For sure.
And then at some point, I'll be looking to exit.
For sure.
You know, so getting bought out is truly the goal.
For sure.
Is truly the goal. You're adding value, and at some point, you know, you be like P, you be like Coach K. You be like Nas. Mm-hmm. You get into something knowing that at some point we're going to add enough value. We're going to give somebody something that they don't previously have, and we're going to peace out on it. So,
this is good.
Yeah, this is good, man. This is how the wealthy think. This is how business owners think. Like, this is what the end is to exit, be bought out. That is the goal. Mm-hmm. But you got to add value. You can't skip the work. Do the work. Add value to your thing, make it better, get processes in place, have people in place, and that will help you exit properly.
Yes, sir.
That's it, y'all. Another episode of Wealthy Thoughts. Stay thinking wealthy. Stay thinking wealthy. I'm your boy, StephenMotivate.
Steve James. Peace.
Until next time. Peace. I'm thinking them wealthy thoughts, baby.